ever heard of spyware is so powerful it can break into your phone without you even clicking a link? It sounds like something out of a spy movie, but it's real, and governments are already using it. The company behind this tool is called Paragon Solutions, and its story is a fascinating and troubling look into the world of modern surveillance. Paragon was founded in Israel back in 2019, and from the very beginning, they tried to brand themselves as the good guys of the spyware industry. They sold a military-grade tool called Graphite, but they promised it was different, more ethical, more responsible. But what does ethical spyware even mean? And can a company that sells surveillance tools ever truly be on the right side of history? What makes Paragon so unique isn't just its technology, but the people who built it, some big names from Israel's political and intelligence scene. Many linked to Unit 8200 helped found Paragon Solutions. Unit 8200 is like Israel's own NSA, super elite and packed with next-level cyber intelligence skills. Their tech is bound to be top-notch and super impressive. Paragon has always aimed to steer clear of shady companies like NSO Group. You've probably heard of NSO and its notorious Pegasus spyware that ended up on the phones of journalists, activists, and political dissidents everywhere. Paragon saw the public backlash and thought, we can do this better. They presented themselves as the responsible alternative. Their sales pitch was clever. They claimed their system, Graphite, was more focused, instead of a complete takeover of your phone like Pegasus. Graphite was designed to primarily access your messaging apps. This might sound less intrusive, but think about it. It still lets them peek into your encrypted chats on apps like WhatsApp, along with your contacts and private messages. It's a surgical strike instead of a sledgehammer. But the end result is the same. Your deepest secrets are exposed. And here's the really scary part. In many cases, these tools don't need you to do anything. No clicking on a suspicious link. No downloading a weird file. They can infect your phone remotely and silently. It's what's known as a zero-click exploit. You could be sitting at a cafe, and your phone could be compromised without you ever knowing. The spyware just slips in and starts siphoning off your data. To calm everyone's fears, Paragon made some big promises. They said they would only sell their technology to democratic governments. They also promised to have strict internal controls and would cut off any customer who abused their tools, especially if they were used to target journalists or activists. It sounded like a solid plan, a way to provide powerful tools for national security without trampling on human rights. But as we all know, promises are easy to make and much harder to keep. It didn't take long for reality to crash the party. Researchers at the University of Toronto's Citizen Lab, who are some of the world's leading spyware investigators, started digging. They soon found infrastructure linked to Paragon's spyware in operations across several countries. The dots were starting to connect, and the picture wasn't as clean as Paragon had painted it. Then came a bombshell from WhatsApp. The company announced it had disrupted several spyware campaigns that had targeted dozens of journalists and civil society figures. And guess whose tools were linked to these attacks? You got it? It appeared that technology connected to Paragon was being used for the exact purposes they swore they would prevent. The drama just keeps unfolding. A massive scandal hit Italy. Investigative journalists received alerts that their phones had been hacked. The spyware was traced back to a government customer, and the trail led to tools associated with Paragon. This caused a massive political backlash. The media, politicians, and the public were outraged. How could this happen? Weren't there safeguards in place? In the face of this scandal, reports later suggested that Paragon did take action. They allegedly ended at least one government contract after these allegations surfaced. On one hand, you could say this shows their system worked. They caught the abuse and cut off the client. But on the other hand, the abuse happened in the first place. The very scenario they promised to prevent had become a reality. Journalists were targeted, and their ethical safeguards only kicked in after the damage was done. While all this was happening in Europe, Paragon was quietly expanding its business into North America. Reports began to surface about law enforcement agencies in Canada showing interest in their technology. More concretely, contracts were linked to the United States, specifically involving immigration authorities who were looking for advanced phone surveillance tools. This immediately set off alarm bells for human rights groups. They warned that giving agencies like immigration enforcement access to this kind of powerful spyware could dramatically expand surveillance capabilities. It could potentially be used to monitor immigrants, asylum seekers, and activists who support them. The line between national security and violating privacy was getting blurrier and blurrier. Experts who study the global spyware industry are becoming increasingly skeptical. They argue that once these powerful tools are in the hands of governments, there may be no way to truly prevent them from being abused. No matter how many ethical policies a company writes or how many promises it makes in its marketing materials, the temptation to use spyware for purposes beyond its original intent is often too strong. Once the technology exists, it tends to get used in ways that cross ethical and legal lines. It's a classic case of the genie being out of the bottle. So, where does that leave Paragon Solutions today? The company is still very much active in the global spyware market. They continue to claim that they operate responsibly and are committed to ethical principles. At the same time, they face growing scrutiny from researchers, journalists, and human rights organizations who are questioning how their technology has actually been used in the real world. This brings us to the biggest question of all. Can spyware, even when sold in the name of security, ever truly coexist with democracy and press freedom? Is there really such a thing as ethical spyware? Or is it just a clever marketing term for surveillance with a friendly face? The story of Paragon Solutions forces us to confront these difficult questions. It shows that even with the best intentions, or at least the best marketing, the world of high-tech surveillance is a minefield of ethical dilemmas. As technology continues to advance, the debate over security versus privacy will only become more intense. What do you think? Is it possible to have one without sacrificing the other? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching! If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the technology that's shaping our world. See you in the next one.